Let's get started. Start with listening, and then learn new words and practice them in sentences.
Imagine this. You're at work, and you receive an email from a colleague that seems a bit snappy. You can't help but feel offended. It's a scenario that many of us have found ourselves in. The digital era has made communication faster, but not always clearer. In this world of electronic communication, it's easy to misinterpret the tone of an email. So let's delve deeper. You've just read this email, and it leaves you feeling a bit rankled. Your immediate reaction is to think, well, that was unnecessary. Why are they being so abrupt? You're on the brink of firing off a defensive reply, but let's pause for a moment. This could be a simple misunderstanding, right? Remember, tone is notoriously difficult to read in written communication. Now here's where the strategy of clarification and direct communication comes into play. Instead of allowing your emotions to dictate your response, take a step back. The first thing to do is to resist making assumptions. It's important not to jump to conclusions about your colleague's intent based on one email. Maybe they were in a hurry, perhaps they're having a rough day, or it could merely be a case of poor phrasing. So, how do you clarify the situation without escalating the conflict? The key is clear, polite, and direct communication. Consider responding with something like, "Dear, I received your email, but I'm not sure I fully understand its intent. Could you please clarify?" This approach invites your colleague to explain themselves without making them defensive. Remember, your goal is to resolve the misunderstanding, not to win an argument. By seeking clarification, you're opening a dialogue that allows for better understanding between both parties. You're showing that you value your professional relationship with your colleague and that you're willing to communicate to maintain a positive work environment. So, remember, don't make assumptions. Use direct communication to clarify and resolve misunderstandings. In the grand scheme of things, a misunderstood email is a minor hiccup. With a bit of patience, clarity, and open communication, it can be quickly and smoothly resolved. Now picture this. Your boss makes a decision that you believe is unfair. What do? Imagine you're an employee at a tech company, and your boss suddenly decides to shift the project deadline forward by 2 weeks. You feel this decision is unfair, as it puts unnecessary pressure on the team and doesn't take into account the complexities of the project. If left unaddressed, this could lead to resentment, negatively affecting team morale and productivity. So how do you navigate this tricky terrain? The answer lies in expressing concerns professionally. Expressing concerns professionally means voicing your disagreements in a respectful and constructive manner. It's about focusing on the issue at hand, not the person. Let's break this down. Step 1. Approach your boss with a calm and composed demeanor. Remember, emotions can cloud judgment and escalate the situation. Step 2. Clearly articulate your concerns. For instance, you might say, "I'm concerned that the new deadline might compromise the quality of our work and put undue stress on the team." Step 3. Make it about the issue, not the person. Avoid using accusatory language such as, "You're being unfair." Instead, use neutral language that focuses on the problem, such as, "I believe the decision to move the deadline could have unintended consequences." Step 4. Provide constructive feedback and offer potential solutions. You might suggest, "Perhaps we could reassess the project timeline and find a more feasible deadline." This approach not only shows your ability to handle conflicts maturely, but also demonstrates your dedication to the team's success. It's a win-win situation. You've voiced your concerns, and your boss gets a fresh perspective that might lead to a better decision. Remember, the key to conflict resolution lies in clear, respectful communication. It's not about proving who's right or wrong, but about finding a mutually beneficial solution. So, when faced with an unfair decision, express your concerns professionally. Focus on the issue, not the person. Let's shift the scene a bit. You're part of a team, and there's a clear divide. Half the team wants to go in one direction, the other half wants to go another. What's the next step? Picture this scenario. You're knee-deep in a project with your team, but there's a hitch. A clear divide has formed. One group believes the project should take one direction, while the other group is convinced of a completely different approach. This isn't just a simple disagreement, it's a clash of visions that could potentially stall the project and create a tense, unproductive work environment. What do you do in a situation like this? How do you manage such a conflict? Well, one effective strategy is finding common ground. This approach emphasizes the importance of open, respectful discussion, where every team member gets a chance to voice their opinions. Remember, in a team, every opinion matters. In facilitating this discussion, It's crucial to foster an environment of mutual respect. Encourage team members to express their thoughts and concerns, but also to listen to others. As the saying goes, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Now, finding common ground doesn't necessarily mean forcing a compromise. It's not about making one group give in to the other. Instead, it's about exploring potential solutions that everyone can agree on. It's about finding a new direction that incorporates the strengths of both perspectives. This might involve brainstorming sessions, one-on-one chats, or even bringing in a neutral third party to help mediate the discussion. The ultimate goal is to ensure that the team can move forward together, united in their approach and, more importantly, their vision for the project. Remember, conflict isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's a sign that people are invested and passionate. It's an opportunity for innovation and growth, but it's crucial to handle these conflicts constructively. In times of team conflict, strive to find common ground, facilitate open discussion, and guide your team towards a mutually beneficial solution. Navigating workplace conflicts can be tricky, but with the right strategies, it becomes a lot easier. Let's take a moment to summarize the key strategies we've discussed. Firstly, we talked about clarification and direct communication. Misunderstandings can often be the root of conflicts. Therefore, it's essential to clarify any confusion promptly and directly. Remember, clear communication is not about being blunt or harsh, but about being honest and straightforward. It's about expressing your thoughts and feelings in a way that is respectful and easy to understand. Moving on, we explored expressing concerns professionally. It is important to remember that everyone has a right to express their concerns at the workplace. However, the way we express those concerns can make a significant difference. It's not just about what we say, but how we say it. Always aim to express your concerns in a professional, respectful manner. Use diplomatic language, maintain a calm demeanor, and avoid personal attacks. Lastly, we delved into finding common ground. This strategy involves looking for areas of agreement and building on them to resolve conflicts. It's about finding a solution that benefits everyone involved, rather than winning an argument. Remember, the goal is not to defeat the other party, but to create a win-win situation. These strategies are not just tools for conflict resolution. They are also the building blocks of a positive and productive work environment. They encourage open communication, mutual respect, and cooperation. By using these strategies, you can turn potential conflicts into opportunities for growth and improvement. So the next time you find yourself in a workplace conflict, don't panic. Think back to these strategies. Clarify the issue, express your concerns professionally, and strive to find common ground. Remember, conflict isn't inherently negative. It's how we handle it that matters. Use these strategies to turn conflicts into opportunities for growth and improvement.
Let's learn new words and practice English at level B2. Conflict. Conflict, a serious disagreement or argument, typically a protracted one. Example, early intervention is key to effectively managing workplace conflicts. Resolution. Resolution, a firm decision to do or not to do something, or the action of solving a problem, dispute, or contentious matter. Example, finding a resolution that satisfies all parties often requires compromise. Mediate. Mediate, to intervene between people in a dispute in order to bring about an agreement or reconciliation. Example, HR often mediates disputes between team members to ensure a fair resolution. Dispute. Dispute, a disagreement, argument, or debate. Example, the dispute between the co-workers arose from a misunderstanding about project roles. Compromise. Compromise, an agreement or settlement of a dispute that is reached by each side making concessions. Example, both sides made concessions to reach a compromise.